there. This thing we're looking at here is a game called A Short Hike. Now, I don't know about you, but this has not been an easy year. And I've been thinking a lot about video production and what I use my YouTube channel for. And one idea that I like a lot from the channel Technology Connections is the idea of No Effort November. For me, November is a time where I'm marking student work. December has a distinct theme. October's had spooky season go on. And really, I could use a break. So, my plan was to find something very low effort and to just engage with it in the simplest possible way. So this is A Short Hike. I have never played this game. I do not know what it is about. It seems charming and cute. I like how it looks. And I'm going to play it for a little bit and talk for a little bit, and y'all and I can hang out. This is the kind of thing that would, in all other forms of my life, be a live stream, but I am not a live streaming person at this point, and like the trick with live streaming is always getting from that first instance of 0 people to talk to like 10, like the right number of people to talk to. Alright, here we go. I think one of the things about this whole setup that immediately appeals to me is the idea of, hey, I've been meaning to do this thing, but I haven't yet. And that's like a lot of my game collection right now. That is the state of the, as it were, game pile. Ooh, hello. A shell. Cool. Where I have this giant collection of games, and the question is, well, why don't you play one of those games? And it's like, no, I'll play one of these other games that I've already played a lot. I will play a lot of Star Realms. I'll play a lot of The Swindle. And it's not because I want to focus on those games. Ooh. Okay. But rather... Oh. Hey there, buddy. Ooh. That is a very naturalistic conversation with the child. Anyway. So, I think a part of it is exhaustion. I think part of it is a matter of availability. I know that if I ever get in a situation where I need to, like, focus on a video game at any point, I run the risk of losing contact with people for, like, you know, upwards of an hour, which can be distressing in some emergency situations. Oh, hey you. Again, very naturalistic dialogue with a child. A stick, you say? +1 sticks. Ooh, I can swing it. Let's see Lasco's trail. Music's very chill. And I do like the aesthetic. I do like the way this... It's weird. When I see games that look like this, I have a feeling like, oh, hey, it's really nice that there's games that can look like this and be regarded as seriously as games, because obviously easier aesthetics to me make me feel like my own games get to look a little better. I get to be a little more forgiven, I guess. Sploosh. And I guess that also opens up room for other things. Coin. Ooh. Seashell. But yeah, I like the aesthetic. It reminds me It reminds me of how a lot of games of my youth looked. From that particular era of 3D engines, like the Quake engine. Of course, the problem with that is that Quake engine was never used for something so charming that I ever got to play. I'm sure there was something out there. You know, putting Barney in Doom wasn't necessarily a thing done to make it cute. Hey there. And you gotta love those moments of non-diegetic conversation. Like, you know, yeah, to use this thing, press your Y button, because that's a thing that exists. Oh, okay, thanks. Thanks for mentioning my Y button, I guess. Hey, chest. Coins. Why do we get the coins? For scores. They are worth having, because they are things I do not currently have. That dude looks like he'd make a great chair. Hey there. Now, my impulse was to grab that shovel, because it's a video game. Obviously, you need the things that you can get. But until I need it, I want to leave it alone, because, like, you know, the frog's having a perfectly nice time. I don't need to intrude. Alright, how do we get back into that? Kill. Butts. I think it's a funny thing to me. Like, I didn't really have chill games growing up. Like, not to say they didn't exist or anything like that. It's just, like, if you asked me what emotions I associated with games, chill would never be one of them. It's like, pretty much the games of my childhood that I really connect to, the stuff that sticks out of my memory, were either these, like, sprawling, contemplative, usually quite miserable RPGs, like Planescape Torment and Baldur's Gate, or they were shareware, shooty, blasty, runny, gunny kind of games, like Biomenace and like Biomenace, or it's cousins of the Keen genre. It's not saying that those games couldn't be fun or cute. It's just, you know, they weren't, but they were not chill. Did I just jump up there? Talk about overthinking it. Alright, well, where are we going? Okay. Pork Peak Trail. Okay, so I better go up here. Pork Peak Trail. Note that this appears to be a sweet, gentle experience of chilling out. Ooh. Ah. System Shock does this, by the way. Where, like, fundamentally the game will say... Fundamentally, the game is a series of loops of the game going, well, you just need to do one thing, and you do that one thing, and it turns out that, nope, sorry, you need to do this other thing instead now. Like, argh. Guess it was good enough for Shodan, it should be good enough for me. But on the other hand, everything here is very deliberately low stress. It might just be that I'm tired. It might really be that I'm just a bit sleepy. Okay, so we head up here. The visitor center? Hey, that looks like a visitor center sign. Ooh, it's province. So I guess this is in Canada. Strawberries and toast. Cool. Howdy. I'm good for that. Okay, gotta find some more coinage. And thus we have the gameplay loop, like, already established. Like, I've already accumulated a short list of things that I need to accumulate to get what I want, which is the trip up the peak. Something I do like about this so far is that it isn't doing it by an obtrusive tutorial system, which I guess it partly you can only really do this because of the very genteel way the game works. Like, I'm not having any major demands asked of me by this game at this point. Please don't sell it on the internet or wherever. Might just be that it's late and that I'm tired. But I am greatly appreciating the very chill, mellow vibe of this whole thing. Whoa! Ooh, hello. A shovel I don't have to ask for. Well, that's neat. And this is back up where the trail gets too steep, huh? Yeah. There's some more coins. Nice. So now I can go get that golden feather. But yeah, people... a lot of people my age, especially the people who are more console kids... Oh, hello. There appears to be a golden feather. I wonder if I can just fly over to it. Thereby saving myself some money. Okay, not from that angle. What about from up here? Plunge down hard there. But yeah, a lot of people my age have a very fond relationship to other games like Animal Crossing. There's a lot of famous stories of people whose mothers got them in Animal Crossing or who have some connection to their childhood. What's this golden feather let me... Aha! So this golden feather will let me get another golden feather. Oh! Snap! Oh, okay, so it refreshes when you land. Okay. Now I do. Cool. But yeah, so for me, I'm not, not to dismiss any of that other kind of engagement with games. It's just, I don't really have anything like this that gives me these warm fuzzies, or that I find the same comforting way that a lot of people talk about these kind of things. Hawk Peak Trail. Hawk Peak. Alright. Anything up here? Hello. Coinage. I think part of the charm of this design is that there's going to be a lot of self-enforcement going on, isn't there? I'm going to be doing things in a way that tries to make sure I get back to where I was leaving it. So, not because the game has set up fences or boundaries, but because I don't know what I need to do next. So, the dragony friend. Ooh, and there's another coordinates down the bottom. That's going to get used in a puzzle, I'm sure. Or maybe it won't. This game might surprise me by being literally just a short health. Ooh. Hey. lizardy friend, no dragon friend. Okay. I wonder if the whole game is going to be like distracting me from Hawk Peak. Hey, friendo. Hey. Cool. Now that sign says this is Hawk Peak. Okay. There's a sort of philosophical challenge of game design where you have to ask yourself, like, how much work do I put into something, knowing that there are going to be people who never care? Like, is it okay to do that to yourself as a designer, to invest effort where it won't get a return? And I know that for a lot of AAA games, that kind of thing is like a deeply poisonous question that you can get into a lot of really challenging places to if you don't pay attention to it. Like, it's one of the reasons that Bioshock and games like it, well, Bioshock Infinite, and games like it kind of choke the player to grab their attention at points, because hey, we spent all this money making this set piece. Can you imagine how bad it would be if a player didn't see it when they were meant to? Like, we're trying to shape the story. How do we make it so that these events that we have, like, when the most useful way you have of expressing a story is in single cinematic sequences, you wind up with this question of what you do to encourage the engagement with those cinematic sequences without taking control away from the players. And like, Valve has this whole thing where they spend a lot of time and effort on games like Half-Life 2, Portal 2, where the idea was like, how do we make sure players are looking in the right spot for the joke to land? It's like, maybe you don't. Like, maybe give up on that and instead make the gameplay experience and the general tenor of the world such that if one specific joke doesn't land, that's okay. Ooh, I have a bucket. Ooh. Ah. A mechanic, you say? Goodness me. Neat. But yeah, like, there is a courage required in accepting that your design can't control the player. Which is, even that's a half-truth. Your design absolutely can control the player. Being willing to give up that control makes, I think, a designer have more and better options. That character did refer to me as kid, implying that I do come across as young seeming. It's interesting. Not that I know for sure, but this game seems to have an absence of invisible walls. 7. Oh, didn't even know about that. Alright, well, let's head down to the hill. And see, for a start. Aha. Haha. I was going to say, see if we can spot any other golden feathers. I speak of courage, but a detail that I guess I should touch on as well is that in my own design work, I find this kind of work extremely challenging because this game is relying on being appealing. This game is relying on being aesthetically pleasant and sweet and engaging. It's relying on the idea that you might want to like looking at it, that you might think well of the characters, that you might be charmed by what you're dealing with. And I actually find that really scary. I have a very hard time doing that. I think in part because as a designer, I just don't think I do a very good job of making characters that are pretty or charming or funny or good. I can basically make characters who are engaging, but they usually have to be engaging by being slightly crap. Or horny, and I know that not everyone's into horny, and I don't make my designs typically, as game designer, very horny, so... Often other people's horny, if I can manage it. Okay. Oh. Aha! Okay. I have 85 coins and I have 5 feathers. I could just use this to go up walls now. That's cool. Oh, hello, fishes. So now I'm wondering if it's possible to avoid paying that ding-dong any money. Not because I think the game is designed that way, but because the ding-dong annoys me. Alright. Okay. Keeping an eye out for a red headband as well. And you know, thus the tower of side quests continues. That's got a red headband. Hey. I'm gonna keep looking for the... I feel like I should keep looking for the proper headband, because the alternative is, you know, kind of deceitful. Guess there's a sort of moral language at work here. you know, you can do video game things. You can treat these characters in a particular way if you want to. Like, you know, I am now way off course from where the game wants you to. Well, where the game says you should start. Been thinking a lot about how I cover these indie games and like the tools and scrutiny employed for these games that are in many cases quite small. I mean, I feel a bit bad saying that about this one because, you know, Small Hike got a fair bit of coverage at the start of the year, even if it's something that I find myself enjoying a great deal. I have a copy because of the Racial Justice bundle, you know, so it's like a year old. That is also deeply depressing in its own way. But point is that treating this game like it's an unknown, undiscovered thing, and that I am therefore being a very good steward of my audience by sharing it with you, because how else would you discover this thing but, like, I don't know. I'm sure some variety of Kunzelman covered it. What does this look like? What happens if I go up here? Ooh. Freezy real fast. I see. Haha. 130, eh? Huh, I'm not recovering. Interesting. I think I just circumvented the jerk. Ooh. Ooh, warm water. Ooh. Okay. Campfire will help. But they didn't direct me down to some, like, skill or item that I needed. Goodness me. Goodness me. At this point, I'm now just really curious about where the game's going next. Like, what's the next thing I'm gonna have to learn how to get around? I think it's interesting that I normally approach these games with a sort of very single-minded purpose. You know, extremely focused, so I can get to the end of them as quickly as I can. Or give myself some reason to be considered done with the game. And for this one, I'm, you know, unironically, just kind of puttering around. And I did dive all the way back down the side of the mountain at one point, just to look around for golden feathers. Well, that doesn't seem like a good use of feathers. Oh, mysterious. So now we have a resource management game that oh, I think I can see a value here. Hey, bucket. The bucket is now full. should be able to move up here and... Oh, wrong there we go. Put a bucket with hot water. That's kind of cool as shortcuts go, but also doesn't actually work out better for me. Alright, let's have a look along this side. Already did that. And you see now, as I keep going, my ability to consider what I'm doing is all kind of faded off because I'm just like trying to piece together a sort of idealized vision of what exactly was the designer thinking. Like, what is it the game wants me to do? What should I do, as opposed to what do I feel like doing? I imagine this has probably been praised a great deal for its lack of hand-holding. What about over here? Oh, goodness me. Alright, let's head down again. Let's see if there's anything. Whoa! That was a pretty sharp drop. Now I think I'm likely to run into Sue again. Oh, hey. Now at this point I think I do want to buy more feathers from this dude, just because it's the only place I can think of. Alright, now I have 7 feathers. That's a really interesting question. Like, what kind of intonation is he expecting there? Well, okay. Good luck to that node. Okay, now we're at it with 2 more of these. Music's lovely too. Don't know if I mentioned. Yes, I have an opinion on the music, even though it's not much of an opinion. Oh, cool. Well, I guess that'll do. Ow. I think a lot about this kind of moment in games of resistance. And how right now what I'm doing is kind of against the spirit of No Effort November. Because really, I'm kind of done with this game. Like, I could probably keep going and finish it, I guess. But like the actual premise, the idea of, hey, it's just a lovely short hike. I've had a lovely little time here. I don't necessarily feel I need to spend a lot more time on it. It is an interesting space we find ourselves in these days, where there is a genuine difficulty in justifying finishing a game versus just getting the game to a state where, ooh, well, it's done. Can I get a bucket of water to this? Alright, let's find out. Okay. So, scoop up some water here. Now, I can't flap like this, but that's okay, because I'm not flapping at all. But I can, hypothetically, climb. Ooh. You can't climb with a bucket. Alright. Barge. Okay. Okay. That looks like a campfire. That looks like a place I could start a fire on. Oh, I see. You don't even care about my well-being. Do you, Snowcop? That's right, you can't climb with a bucket either. Bums. I think this hike might have defeated me. The music's picked up and it's become a bit more severe. And, like, thinking about it, I don't want to wring a game like this out. I don't want you to know everything about this game just from watching me play it. Especially because, you know, I'm going to bring my own cast to this game. And... I see. You can't climb up there with a bucket in hand. Ah, well. Tell you what. Let's head back down for now. Oh. Spoosh. Let's swing on back down again. And just have a gentle, swooping landing. Just for the fun of it. I like this game a lot. I particularly like the way that it uses its own aimlessness to engage you. Like, it's just boring enough as you're going up the moments of engaging with random strangers makes you go, well, hang on, I might need this later. I didn't want to ignore anyone for a long period of time because what if I wind up coming back to this and I don't want to backtrack? Its scope is big enough that the idea of backtracking and checking around is meaningful. But it's also easy enough that I don't feel like I'm under stress for doing that. It's a very sweet thing as well. Like, this is a world full of people to be nice to. I am absolutely sure that if I go and collect 400 coins, I'll be able to give this lad over here a leg up on his student loans. And there's that kid who wanted seashells all the way back at the start, which, goodness me, look at the scope of how far we've come. Just look at the game that I've barely touched. Odds are good you might have a copy of this game already without realizing it. Ooh. Hello. Oh. Hey, Toucan. Yo. Yeah. Tell you what, let's give that a shot. Neat. And there's a part of my brain that's already thinking like a system designer. It's like, well, obviously you put that in the game so that someone can use it to solve a puzzle later. But I don't know. It might just be to be nice and have some fun. Anyway, for now, that's everything. Bye-bye.